Why is Coca-Cola called Coca-Cola? When you hear the name Coca-Cola, you probably think of one of the most recognizable brands on earth. A company whose products are sold in nearly every country. A company whose logo has barely changed in over a century. A company so famous that many people simply call any soft drink Coke. But have you ever wondered why it's called Coca-Cola in the first place? The answer is surprisingly simple. Coca-Cola got its name because its original recipe contained extracts from coca leaves and cola nuts. The coca leaves provided one half of the name, and the cola nuts provided the other. Today, the drink no longer contains cocaine, and the recipe has changed significantly over the years. But the name remains a reminder of what was once inside the original formula. And while that's the answer, it's only part of the story. Because the real question isn't just why Coca-Cola is called Coca-Cola. It's how a medicinal tonic created in a pharmacy became one of the most valuable brands in history. To understand that story, we need to go back to the late 1800s. At the time, America was full of patent medicines. These were products that claimed to cure everything from headaches to nervousness and fatigue. Many contained unusual ingredients, and few were regulated by modern standards. One of the people working in this world was a pharmacist from Atlanta named John Pemberton. Pemberton had spent years experimenting with medicinal formulas. In 1886, he created a caramel-colored syrup that he believed could be sold as a health tonic. The syrup contained several ingredients, including extracts from coca leaves and cola nuts. The coca plant was well known at the time for its stimulating properties. The cola nut, which contains caffeine, was also valued for its energizing effects. Pemberton's syrup was mixed with carbonated water and served at soda fountains. The result was a refreshing drink that was unlike anything else on the market. But creating the beverage was only the first step. Still needed a name. That's where Frank Robinson entered the story. Robinson was Pemberton's bookkeeper and business partner. He believed the product needed a memorable brand name if it was going to succeed. Drawing inspiration from two of the drink's key ingredients, Robinson proposed the name Coca-Cola. He also believed that the two capital C's would look attractive in advertisements. As it turned out, he was right. In fact, Robinson didn't just create the name. He also wrote the famous Coca-Cola logo by hand using Spencerian script, a style of handwriting popular at the time. More than a century later, that logo remains one of the most recognizable designs ever created. At first, however, Coca-Cola was far from a success. Sales were modest. Only a handful of servings were sold each day. Pemberton struggled financially, and he never lived long enough to see what the brand would eventually become. After his death, ownership of Coca-Cola gradually passed to a businessman named Asa Candler. Candler recognized something that others didn't. The drink itself was good, but the real opportunity was building a brand. Throughout the 1890s, he invested heavily in advertising. Coupons were distributed. Signs appeared in stores. Branded merchandise spread across the country. The concept of bottling was also developed around this time, which helped to spread the enjoyment of Coca-Cola almost anywhere. At a time when many products were sold locally, Coca-Cola was becoming nationally recognizable. The name played a huge role in that success. It was distinctive. It was easy to remember. And unlike many medicinal products of the era, it sounded unique. Over time, however, one aspect of the name became increasingly controversial. The coca leaves used in the original formula contained traces of cocaine. At the time, cocaine was legal and appeared in numerous products. But as public attitudes changed and regulations increased, Coca-Cola began modifying its formula. Eventually, cocaine was removed from the beverage entirely. Yet despite the change, the company kept the name. By then, Coca-Cola had become far bigger than its ingredients. The name no longer described what was inside the bottle. It described a brand. And that distinction would become increasingly important as the company grew. Throughout the 20th century, Coca-Cola expanded across the globe. Survived wars. It survived economic depressions. Competed against countless rivals. And through all of it, the name remained remarkably consistent. Today, most people don't think about coca leaves. Most people don't think about cola nuts. In fact, Many consumers have no idea where the name came from at all. That's the power of branding. A name that originally described ingredients eventually became something much larger. It became a symbol of refreshment, a symbol of marketing, and for many people around the world, a symbol of America itself. So why is Coca-Cola called Coca-Cola? Because its original formula contained coca leaves and cola nuts. But the reason the name survived for nearly 140 years is much more impressive. The company transformed a simple description of ingredients into one of the most valuable and recognizable brands ever created. And that's a much bigger achievement than naming a soft drink. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel to get notifications for our new videos. Feel free to suggest business brands we should cover next in the comments below.